Hello, Allison and Andre. Hope you are doing well. Gosh, you probably see me with my hoodie and my hat here. We are still dealing with snow. We're supposed to get another 12 inches of snow on Saturday, possibly even more than 12 inches. So I hope you're enjoying the warm weather down there because we sure wish we were enjoying it with you. So my apologies for not getting this to you sooner. The snow actually knocked out some of our power yesterday, so we were working on that as well. Nice and wintry up here in the Midwest. But I wanted to touch base with you about your website. I appreciate you giving me the chance to look it over. And I just wanted to talk through a few things with you on this video. That way you can kind of see where my thoughts are. I feel like it's sometimes easier than trying to craft a big email. Just explain it here. So I'm going to just share the screen here, and hopefully you can see that. But what I am looking at here on the Turquoise Turtle website, which I want to say again that I think you've been doing quite stellar with that as it is by yourself. So my suggestions, just from a professional standpoint, would just be to shore up some things with your website. And a few of those type of things would be, number one, the header spacing. My suggestion as far as taking your site and tweaking it to I would say more of a better navigational flow, and then when somebody lands on the website, what they see would be number one, again, this header area here, there's a lot of empty space here, so moving that and tightening it up, shoring it up a little bit, allows you guys to use more of the actual website space. And then a big thing that I would do is take your homepage and bring that so there's more pictures of your yacht updated with you guys, and then of course those reviews with your clients, so more picture oriented, make it much more brighter and focused on the boat that they're, or the yacht, right, that they're renting with the time with you guys. And then I'd also shore up some navigation. So for me here, this area, which is your blog, this is a really central part of the website, or I would encourage you to make that a central part of your website. So if there's a way to get this tweaked so that your articles are here, and this is where you put your videos and a lot of pictures, so that, and then you put the blog portion right up here in the navigation, so when somebody finds your website, they see an ongoing informational portal of what's happening on the Turquoise Turtle. So your ongoing pictures and your latest clients and the beach you saw and the shell you found and the kids you hung out with, etc., and make that such a central part, because that's the live portion of your site that's regularly updated. And in that sense, the website isn't as static. They're finding something that's constantly here. So I would definitely promote this more and be consistent on that. And I know that I noticed that right here, right now. I know you're not actually wanting to educate people on how to blog, but there are some, I would say, some standard blogging articles on here that I'm thinking Site Pages just puts up there as examples that are still up here. So I would kind of work on that for you. Or have you guys do that. And again, the updating the blog area just for easier usage, more visually striking. And then on your phone as well, the navigation on the phone, I know that's completely buried, and I couldn't actually even find how to get to that area on your blog from the phone. So for example, this is your picture of the phone. So when I pull up a screenshot from my phone, like this is what I see immediately. So you'll notice here the navigational aspect of it. There's not even a menu from the phone version, and so being able to add that to a more mobile-friendly version of the site, where they can access these tabs that are visible on the desktop version, and then again getting to that more central blog feature where you can keep the site less static, I would say is definitely something you want to keep in mind. One other thing that I would encourage as I looked through this would be to connect your social media accounts. So something I did for Dan and Marguerite with their website here, this is their website, for their Airbnb was at the bottom. I stream in Marguerite's constant Instagram feed. So again, in order to help not make the website as static, every time she posts something from her Instagram, it goes right here to the bottom of her site, and this is her live pictures from her, like I said, her Instagram. And so not only is she driving engagement and interest from Instagram, but it's pouring right onto the site, and that's just a neat feature. So that way, again, the whole point is when somebody visits, they want to see what's happening live and not just have it a current site, static looking site. So being able to add those type of features in and allow them to see the dynamic ongoing things that you're posting just really helps people feel comfortable, gain trust, and say, hey, I want to do this because look, Turquoise Turtle is visiting this area and they just found this, and they basically get this ideal picture in their mind of what a week on Turquoise Turtle would do for them and their life and their family, and they start to envision that visually just because of the things you're posting on your social media and in your blog and on your Instagram. So that's definitely what I would do for the homepage and for the site in general. A suggestion I would do also for the homepage, and I'll kind of give you a picture of what that would be like, would be, again, more central focus of what it would look like. Now, I realize, I know that this is not your boat, and but I was trying to find a picture that kind of fit well with what I was talking about, and so I pulled this off of your social media. Obviously, yes, I know this is not your boat, but this would be an example, right? So here's the header shored up a little bit, so there's not as much empty space. We still got the logo here and your names, Central Book Your Trip. I know that you don't want to draw too much attention to booking online, so that way it doesn't upset your current brokers. But I noticed that you do have it up here, and so allowing that to go to a form, I think is central to keep that type of stuff on your website. I would definitely move this section to your homepage. That way, as somebody scrolls down, they can see all the information they want and then enter immediately without having to click somewhere else. The more places somebody has to click away to find information, the more they just tend to drop off the site and not engage anymore. So in this example here, this homepage example, I just took, like I said, a picture. This would obviously be the Turquoise Turtle boat, and then we would just use something that shows what they're going to be doing, right? And then that kind of helps highlight then the information you had. Join us on our spacious voyage 500, and then experience that South African hospitality, and then clicking that would take them to that form. So again, this kind of brightens up the site a little bit, something like this. It gives it more of a visually appealing, hey, this is the boat that we're going to be on, and then this is what we're going to be experiencing. And then as you would scroll down, for example, you would scroll down then more to your welcome, more about the yacht and the crew, similar to what you have. And then again, we'd put the form on the bottom there. And then in this kind of area, this is where you notice it says blog right up in here. I would move your blog portion of the site, like I said, front and central, and then let that just really, really be highlighted in your from your main page, right? So right from here, from the navigation. So it's not buried, they don't have to find it, and they get those ongoing articles that they can read and just see. Yeah, as you can see, I notice I use our picture there, right? So those would be some of the suggestions I would do for your website, okay? Now, this can either be, what I like to do, I don't like to just sell somebody a website and say, hey, you need a website, so here, buy it from me, I'll do it for you. I like to encourage and say, hey, here's the recommendations I would give, and then somebody is free to take that and either implement them on their own, or they can say, okay, I love those things, I don't want to do it on my own, I want to hire you to do it for me, right? So in that sense, if you wanted to go the second route and you wanted to hire me to help you with implement some of those changes, the first thing that I would probably recommend is upgrade your site builder platform to a platform called Wix. Now, it's very, very similar to Site Builder, especially with the drag and drop. So the management side of it for you, you're not having to learn a completely new different system. But the reason why I would recommend going to Wix instead of Site Builder, and this is what I've done for my clients, because I originally looked at Site Builder for building for my clients, but I just didn't have as much capabilities moving forward for some of the bigger companies that I wanted to work with. So I wanted to be able to offer a company, for example, an insurance company, if they're going to pay me for a site, I want them to be able to have a platform where they can grow into as they get bigger. Now for you, as a charter service, I know you're not wanting to get super detailed and have private logins where people are tracking their insurance or anything like that. But I do think that Wix allows you a little bit more freedom from a design standpoint, especially with like the blog features that we were talking about and streaming your social media into it, having it connected to your Instagram accounts, and those type of things. Those would be areas that I would really highly recommend upgrading your platform just a bit. But again, because it's a drag and drop platform, you're not having to relearn tools and coding and all those type of things. It's just very, very similar. Some of the other advantages to Wix would be the SEO. So Google basically likes pages that are built on Wix a little bit more than they do on site pages. And that's just simply because of the background SEO. And that way, when somebody's looking for charters, it's not 100% buried in Google searches. Eventually, it bumps up a little bit more to the top. And that's just not good for you. It's also good for your brokers, because as they're telling people about Turquoise Turtle and the charter services you offer, as they mention that name, people can find it easily and quickly in Google. And so that would be something that you'd want to consider. It's not just for you, it's for your brokers as well. People have a little bit more confidence when they know that the website isn't buried 100 pages deep in a Google search. The site load time is also a big factor. I know that Site Pages has a decent amount of storage. It's about I think here it's 50 megabytes. But Wix offers 10 gigabytes to 500 gigabytes. And what basically, in layman's terms, what that basically means is your site is able to load faster for somebody who has a slower internet speed. So I know being down, especially in islands, is good because the internet is not as fast, but it still allows the site to load quicker. And the more storage you have as well, the more photos and pictures and videos and social media feeds can be in the site. And you don't have to worry about that slowing down the actual website. It still maintains a very high rate of speed. And so people can load it easier, see your pictures, and you don't have to worry as you're, writing those blog articles, engaging your audience in that way. It's not going to slow down your website to do so. Okay. And then the other thing I would obviously recommend for building, if I was going to build it on a Wix platform, your upgraded site, would be the built-in customer management. So you can actually, if anybody emails you, you can easily keep track of who your current customers are, whether they're from a broker or not. There's better blog features on it, like I was kind of showing you. It'll be able to highlight it a little bit more and keep that central. You don't actually even have to go into the web editor. You can just get on from your platform and type a blog post, and automatically adds it into your website without you having to actually go in there and do it from a website editing standpoint. And then the nice thing is, like I mentioned, it's still drag and drop, so you're not learning a brand new program, and the pricing is relatively the same. It's probably a little bit more per month, probably closer to $15 a month when you buy a year at a time, so like a yearly subscription. And I think for Pro on the site page, it's $12.95 maybe. I could be wrong on that. It's been a while since I looked at that. So it's not a whole lot of a price difference, but I think the advantages on the upside for upgrading to, like, say, the Wix platform would really just improve the overall site function by leaps and bounds, and yet you're not having to learn coding or anything. That's still a simple drag and drop. So that would be my recommendation. Regardless, I'm happy to answer questions about what you're wanting to possibly see. There's definitely aspects of the site that I would want to say you keep. For example, obviously the tours of the yacht, that I'm trying to figure out where that is on your site. I don't remember where. It's from the yacht, perhaps. I think we had that 3D virtual boat tour. There it is. So stuff like that is really neat for your website. Definitely something that I would want to keep. I would definitely recommend some of those updated pictures for you and Andre, with probably some more crisp, clear, crisper and clearer photos. But your actual website copy, as far as like what you say, you know, that it's a neat site, simply because there's so much room to upgrade it and to take it to a whole nother level because you've started so well. But I would say the ease factor of doing that would be to upgrade your platform as well to something similar to site pages, but something that can take everything to one step further, higher level, and be able to easier get you kind of the look and feel you want. So anyway, there's a little brief overview of some of the things that I would recommend. And if you wanted to discuss further what that would look like for me doing that for you, I'd be happy to do that. And we can just message back and forth on Facebook or an email, and then we can talk about, all right, if you want me to do it, what would that look like? What kind of pricing you'd be comfortable with? I'd be curious what a budget, you know, what you're kind of thinking budget-wise. And then we can just move from there. All right. So with that, hope you are having a wonderful time. Hope you had an enjoyable dinner with Dan and Marguerite the other night. They said they had a fun time. And let me just say, with all the snow coming down, we are anxious to get back down to the islands and maybe stay this time, right? Not. I know the kids they went out to play in the snow yesterday, and they said after about, you know, they were out there about 30 minutes. They said, it's so cold out here and we have to wear so much clothes. Can we go back to Oma and Opa's where we can just play in the sand and not be cold, and all I have to wear is a bathing suit? I said, you know, kids, I don't blame you for that. So, I don't know. One of these days, right? We'll see. So, hey, hope that was helpful. You let me know if you have any questions, and we'll go from there. All right? Thanks so much, guys. See you later. Bye.